All right, what is up, everybody? We are back. We're going to do a round two mock draft today. Round one was pretty awesome. We got a bunch of teams filling their needs with star players, or what we hope are going to be star players. And there's still a ton of guys left on the board that are big names. Michael Penix and Bo Nix, we have falling out of the first round. Xavier Worthy and Keon Coleman are still on the board for receivers. And then we've got plenty of defense and offensive line, tons of talent there. I'm excited for this second round, third round, fourth round. This is going to be a great draft.
You should really expect to see it, like a lot of starters coming out of this year, guys that are decent contributors going forward.
Yeah, specifically out of these first three rounds.
Oh, yeah.
And without further ado, I feel like we should just jump right in here to the second round. We'll display our first round picks.
Yep.
Right here or here. The Panthers are on the clock for their first pick of the draft. First pick of round two.
Let's give Bryce a weapon.
Yeah, I feel like receiver would be a really smart move.
Especially with the value that's left on the board.
Xavier Worthy or Keon Coleman.
Jalen Polk still on the board. Lad McConkey.
I like the Lad McConkey fit. To me, Xavier Worthy was like a fourth or fifth round talent coming into this, and then he ran that super fast 40.
Yeah.
And now he's a first or second round talent. We've seen this happen before.
I'm not buying it.
I'm not saying that the Panthers don't buy it, though. Like, the Panthers could still pick the guy right there. I don't think it's smart. Keon Coleman's been elite.
He's huge.
Been around. Yeah, the only thing that I would give Worthy the bump in is that the Panthers really, really, really need speed.
Yeah, they do. But the last time they went with speed, that was in the form of Curtis Samuel. And look how that turned out. Top of the second round. Same pick. Round two, pick one.
Was he really?
Uh-huh.
Wow. They have to pick receiver to me. Probably going to be one of those two dudes. Who do we want to lock in?
I feel like they just end up going with Keon Coleman. He's got the best all-around skill set left on the board if people aren't hyped on somebody like Jalen Polk and they don't like the route running skills of Lad McConkey.
Okay, yeah, I'm cool with Keon Coleman here. This guy's going to do something in the NFL. That much I know.
He just feels like he could kind of end up sort of like a Cortland Sutton type.
Or like
somebody
Des
that's
Bryant.
a big body. Yeah, contributes to the game very well, but won't necessarily always be the most dominating dude.
Yeah, I like that. Xavier Worthy, if he figures out his route running and his hands and ends up doing all that, he'll flourish just like Tyreek Hill has. It's turning into a fast game. Again, like the NFL is all about speed. We all know how that'll go. If he ends up being able to catch the ball and run good routes and get open consistently and develop a good rapport with the quarterback, he'll be successful. But Keon Coleman to me is a much more like lock.
Yep, I agree. Better all-around guy.
Patriots. They're on the clock at 2. They went ahead and selected a quarterback, Drake May, with a third pick in this first round. So who do they get here? I think they need a receiver badly.
I think so, too. I think this is where Lad McConkey comes off the board.
They fade on Xavier Worthy as well. They go down the board slightly on these rankings anyways and get McConkey. Okay.
Or Jalen Polk. One of the two. There's other guys that, like, they just have a better college rapport than Xavier Worthy. He just has a speed. Like, I would be so much happier taking those other guys that I just labeled.
I like Lad McConkey a lot to pretty much any team.
Yeah, I think he comes off the board right now.
You like him to the Patriots right now?
Patriots fit.
Okay. Cardinals on the board with the 35th overall pick. We had them taking Neighbors in the first. They could honestly go back and circle and hit another receiver with Xavier Worthy still being here.
Yeah, like take Xavier Worthy and put him into a situation where he's going to be the number 2 receiver. That's a little more enticing,
That would be a pretty cool dynamic. However, they still need D-line and secondary and offensive line. They need a lot of stuff still in Arizona.
Yep. I feel like maybe they could go with offensive line.
Like Christian Hayes.
I feel like that could be a good role right now.
I don't know. I'm kind of torn on what position they'll be targeting right here, assuming they lock down a good receiver at the beginning of the first round.
I think they'll probably just be looking elsewhere. What's the best player on the board for a position in need?
Christian Hayes at guard, Darius Robinson on the edge. I like an interior offensive lineman right here with Christian Hayes.
Let's go ahead and lock it. I like it too.
So now Washington back on the board. They pick Jaden Daniels with the 2nd overall pick.
They're going to take Michael Penix Jr. just for the shit of it. Make sure they get a lock again. Repeat history. Do the old Kirk and RG3 combo. But no.
No.
I wish they would.
Regardless of who's on the board here, like, they have to get their secondary figured out. I get they could use a receiver.
They could use
but
one.
Like, do they really need one?
No.
Not like they need secondary. They're never going to win a game with their secondary, bro. Like, they're not going to be competitive.
Who's on the board to fill the secondary needs right now? TJ Tampa. I like that. I would go ahead and take him. That sounds like the way to go. They've been needing to cover corner for a while, and maybe they do finally address it somewhere in the draft.
They need corner. They need safety, too. Like,
yeah, they lost Cameron Curl, so they need somebody to come back in for sure.
Mm-hmm.
On to the Chargers. Chargers need anything they can get a hold of.
They need O-line for sure. They could use another cornerback.
I'm digging the dude with the crazy last name. Kingsley Sumataya.
Suamatia.
Yeah.
Suamatia.
Give him an offensive
Suamatia.
tackle. Give him some
Kingsley
protection
Suamatia.
for their great quarterback.
For their prized quarterback, yeah. They already got him a weapon in the beginning. Get him some protection now.
Yep.
They do need to shore up their offensive line big time.
Have to. They have to. They already did a good job with Rashawn Slater, and he's on the right side. So now fix it with somebody on the left side.
Yes. They could also go Zach Frazier with the center.
They could.
That's probably going to be the other option for them. If this is the board, I'm cool with them going ahead and grabbing Kingsley Suamatia.
Let's go.
Out of BYU. All right, lock that in. The Titans are back here on the board. I think like they're probably just going to grab the top player here.
Just hit what they think is the best player on the board. What's the best bang for their 2nd round pick?
Yeah, like I think they just see the flashy object and go with Xavier Worthy here. Kind of going away from what we've been doing with our picks and taking the smart choice or whatever, but I can totally see the Titans doing this, and I can actually see it working out for them down the road.
I think so too. With D-Hop especially there, like
yeah, his contract's expiring pretty soon.
Given a little bit of, may not be teaching, but him being there alone for Xavier Worthy to watch and learn from is huge.
It is, yeah, because what Xavier Worthy's missing is what Diop has.
Yeah.
Like all the technical side. And that's what makes Diop so good. Like all his hands and his route running. I love watching Diop play football. I wish he was still on the Texans in his prime. I miss those days. That was a joy to watch.
Oh, yeah. No, that was a ton of fun.
Okay, so we're going to have them having a three-headed monster of Xavier Worthy, D-Hop, and Treylon Burks out there. That could be pretty dirty if Will Levis gets rolling. I think they need to get another lineman later on in the draft.
Mm-hmm.
We had them getting Joe Alt in the 1st round, which is a great pick.
Yes.
Protection, and if he gets another weapon like Xavier Worthy, I think the Titans could be taking a step in the right direction.
Definitely. I agree with you. Now we've got the Panthers back on the board.
Yes, the Panthers up for their second round pick.
I feel like this is probably one of our easier picks here. Granted that they just got rid of Brian Burns. So I feel like they go edge here. There's 2 good edges left on the board.
Which one do you think, Adisa Isaac or Darius Robinson?
I think they hit Adisa Isaac.
Again, Zach Frazier could be another option they look at. They do need a center.
Yep.
But we're going to take the edge here. Brady's right. They did just lose Brian Burns, or traded him rather. Fill that hole as best they can in the draft with Adisa Isaac out of Penn State. I think that's a solid pick. And now we got Washington again back on the board for their second round pick. They need more secondary, in my opinion. Maybe an offensive tackle.
This is their splurge pick, in my opinion. They have an extra 2nd round pick. They pick their cornerback. They pick their quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Now, who's the best player on the board?
They could get Darius Robinson, the edge.
Is that not a super Washington pick? They don't have Chase Young. They don't have Montez Sweat.
Yeah, that is a super Washington pick. I just realized they lost their whole D line, and they love picking D linemen.
Yeah, I feel like that's probably the way they go. That's a piece that they need. It's also the best player on the board in their eyes.
I could also see them saying screw it and taking another cornerback. But we are going to lock in Darius Robinson, though. Okay, Packers on the block with the 41st pick. I think we're going to sit here and lock in Cooper Beebe. guard out of Kansas State.
Yeah.
Sounds like a very Packers pick. They definitely need line. Why not support and protect Jordan Love? I mean, I feel like they answered a lot of questions. Now they don't need to go and attack quarterback in this draft or in free agency anytime soon. They, in their minds, I believe they think he's the quarterback of the future. So
Definitely.
start investing in him, start protecting him. Yeah. Cooper Beebe, I like that pick. Texans, though. So I think Max Melton, that sounds nice. I think it's a good fit down in Houston.
Yeah, they've been needing to address it for quite a while.
I'm cool to lock that.
I wouldn't have had a problem sending Edrin Cooper right here either. Because they need a linebacker really bad.
I feel like linebacker's more addressable down the road.
Yes, I agree. It's not as much of a premium position anymore in the draft.
Like it used to be linebackers and running backs were the most important things. All right, so we're going to lock Max Melton.
Lock him in. Lock him in. But yeah, it is crazy. And there will be a time when linebackers start going in the first round again.
Yeah, it'll come around full circle again. I mean, I actually have heard I think a lot of coaches are trying to move their teams and their formats back towards running the ball again.
Yeah.
They're doing it in such creative ways, though. It's not just pound the rock like it used to be.
Right.
Falcons again.
What do the Falcons need?
We had them attacking their edge position at number 10, I believe it was, in the first round, getting Dallas Turner from Bama. They could go secondary here. They could go receiver here, although they have a really nice trio of skill positions on offense already.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, they could take Troy Franklin and be filthy with Kirk Cousins.
They could.
I think Rakestraw, though, might actually be the wisest pick here. Keep addressing the defense and kind of let Kirk Cousins make up for any like weaknesses on the offense.
I agree. I think that's probably the best way to go.
I like Rakestraw.
They need to continue to address cornerback until they hit on it.
Yeah, let's lock it. Okay, Raiders up again. And this is another thing that we didn't mention earlier, but I could totally see the Raiders trading up to the first 2 or 3 picks in this draft, or in the second round, to get Bo Nix or Michael Penix. We actually had them both fall all the way down here to 44. I don't think this will actually happen. I think if the Raiders are wanting to end up with one of these guys, they're going to have to make a little trade up.
I think so too.
Either into the end of the first round or beginning of second round. I think we send Michael Penix to the Raiders here, the 44th pick.
I 100% agree. I think it just, based on ours, it falls perfectly into their lap. It's not going to happen like that, but they will end up
It
with
could,
him
though.
one way or another,
Yeah. Okay, Saints.
Bo Nix. Screw it. What do the Saints have to lose, At this point in the draft, you're in round 2. You could address wide receiver again. You could address some needs on the line.
Their line is so bad. I mean, we had them getting a great offensive lineman, a tackle in the first round.
They could go defensive tackle. They lost their pretty good one. He was ranked as the top run defensive tackle this year. The Broncos signed him. I can't remember his name right now. He was on the outs. They also lost Onyemata last year.
Mm-hmm.
They've lost a few pieces on that defensive line that need to be replaced.
Again, Zach Frazier's still on the board. I could definitely see Bo Nix going here.
If he doesn't go here, then
If it plays like this, like if they're at 45 and Michael Penix falls to 44 and gets picked right in front of them, I feel like they'll be like, okay, like there was 5 like reasonably decent quarterbacks in this class. If we want one, we have to use this pick to get Bo Nix.
And I feel like that fits their system, He's a guy that has some experience, and you can just kind of bring him in and hope
we'll see. I'll
fills
do it.
into the
Let's do
system.
it. I'm not super confident in that prediction, but yeah, we'll see.
Me neither,
about
but it seems like a way that they might go.
I could see it happening. We'll see. The Colts.
They just signed their center to be like the highest paid center in the league, right? Dude from Bama.
Yes, and we had them going cornerback in the first. I think Troy Franklin fits right in.
I agree.
This receiver from Oregon, yeah, this is it right here. Straight to the Colts.
They've been looking for that second guy for a while, and they finally just paid Michael
Pittman.
Yeah, I send Troy Franklin. That seems like a great fit.
Yeah, I like that.
Just give Anthony Richardson even more stuff to play with.
Mm-hmm. I like that a lot. Okay, the Giants are sitting here.
Trey Benson. It doesn't line up any more perfect than for them to get the next running receiving back.
Trey Benson is hard. I love Trey Benson. But I know he's rated to go around right here. He's projected to go like early second round. Is it wise for the Giants to spend a second round pick on a running back? Will they do that?
Absolutely not. It's not wise. But are the Giants wise?
I mean, clearly not. I'm not even saying that's a terrible pick. It's just like, what are you not getting by drafting a running back right here?
Their offensive line is not bad. They could use help. Their defensive line is the best in the league.
Mm-hmm.
They don't need any of these guys.
They need secondary really bad.
I just don't see anybody else that they feel will make a bigger impact to their team at that moment. Like, unless they wanted to get that linebacker and take him now, I just feel like it lines up too perfectly for them to pick the running back here.
Let's do it. Let's pick the running back here. Like, you're right. Like, it's lined up perfectly to get Trey Benson. It's lined up perfect for that. Like, I just feel bad for these players that lines up perfect for the Giants to pick you. Like,
right.
Bro, nobody wants to go play for the Giants.
New York Football Giants.
I just don't think it's smart. But, yeah, like, they're going to do it. Like, fuck it. Trey Benson.
Boom. He's gone.
Jags. We had them getting the D lineman, the interior D lineman out of Texas in the first round, Byron Murphy.
Yep. What do their needs look like?
They need guard, tackle on the O-line, and then cornerback and receiver. Xavier Leggett.
I actually really like that.
It sounds pretty cool.
I like that. They're in Jacksonville. It's not very far. Kind of keeps them close to home.
Christian Kirk is good, but like Leggett has way more like hype than I feel like Christian Kirk ever did.
Oh, yeah.
I expect Leggett to do more.
Leggett reminds me a whole lot of Debo. And
He's just a baller.
Yes.
And they're both
He's
South
very
Carolina
good.
guys.
And I think that's why I draw the ties, because South Carolina. But they're both very stout, built dudes that are really good at everything on the receiving side.
Let's do it.
So, yeah, let's pop them off the board.
The Bengals, they helped their offensive line in the first round.
Do they do it again?
I think that however the fuck you say that guy's name. Orohoro. Rook. I'm just going to call him Rook. Rook from Clemson. I feel like this is just falling kind of perfect. They could go down and get Leonard Taylor out of Miami. They needed a defensive tackle big time. Why not plug one of these guys in right here?
Do it.
Let's get Rook off the board so I don't have to say his name again. The Eagles had them getting Cooper, who, by the way, is confirmed as a safety and will play safety in the NFL. Not that he won't be able to play a little crossover here and there. But with that being said, they still need cornerback. Kamari Lassiter, it looks like, is the top-rated corner still here on the board. Yeah, there's a pretty big drop-off after him. You know what? This, I feel like, is where Edgerrin Cooper, the first linebacker, finally goes off the board.
That's what I was about to say. They need a linebacker. And they lost TJ Edwards, who was their main guy, and they just trying to fill it in with a bunch of different fill-ins this year, and it did not work.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, they take a young guy, and I think he fills in right away.
I like that. Steelers. We had them taking J.C. Latham from Alabama in the first round.
I think they end up taking this guy here, Patrick Ball.
Hell no. They're taking Zach Frazier. Finally, he's leaving them.
Do they need an interior lineman?
They need a center.
They do?
Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
I really think Zach Frazier will be gone before the Steelers in the real round 2. But if he's there, I think that would be solid. The Steelers really should end up picking like 3 or 4 picks on O-line.
They need to,
Yeah.
especially after sending a couple guys out.
The Rams with the 52nd pick. They had them getting Johnny Newton out of Illinois in the first round. Solid defensive tackle.
Definitely.
But that they need defensive help.
I feel like they
sure.
keep it on the defense and they go
Chris Braswell
with the edge. Yep.
Oh yeah. Yeah, good. Yeah.
We roll some tide out this hoe.
Yeah. I like that pick. It fits well. They need all over their defense. They need help everywhere.
Yeah, they do.
I expect the Rams to be just as good, if not even better than they were this last season.
Yeah.
Especially if Cooper Kupp's healthy all year to pair with Puka again. That was awesome to see.
I agree.
Obviously, it all depends on Stafford's health, too. Eagles on the clock at 53.
They could either go offensive line or they can get that cornerback that they need.
Kamari Lassiter?
Yeah, I feel like that would be a good pick. You know, he's got some experience in the SEC, so it gives him some good competition. And they've been needing a good cornerback for a hot minute. Maybe he can fill in. It looks like he's more of the slot guy.
Yeah, he's 5'11", 186, but he's insanely fast, it looks like. So, yeah, this is a guy that can come in and help cover those burners and help limit your team getting burned over the top, which the Eagles they got gashed kind of everywhere, all over the place last season.
And it was at the worst times.
I think this guy could definitely fit into their system and help them, especially with the other picks that we've already added to their roster during these first couple of rounds.
Yeah.
That would be 3 defensive picks in the first 2 rounds for them. It would help them tremendously, I believe.
Definitely. That'd be massive for them. Up next, we've got the Browns. I mean, the Browns they've kind of got it all, so they can kind of pick whatever they need the most. What's the best looking dude?
Yeah, they didn't have a first-round pick. This will be their first crack at it. They need defensive tackle, offensive tackle, linebacker. They could use another receiver. And then in the back of my head, I really think they just need a quarterback more than anything, more than any of all this. That's not going to happen here.
I mean, maybe they go with this Patrick Paul. I know they need offensive line.
They definitely do. They definitely need quarterback protection.
Maybe that's what they do. That could be the most important thing to them. And they end up using their first pick in the draft on maybe what's going to be the most valuable, and that could be offensive tackle.
I think offensive tackle is more valuable than defensive tackle, like positionally.
Right here, the need outshines what the best thing on the board is.
Dude, yeah, like, I mean, if you look at Patrick Paul, too.
Look at that man.
6'7", 331. I just think that, like, they need this tremendously bad. Their sack rates have been piss poor for years now.
Awful.
Yeah, I think this is the wise pick. And defensive tackle is a position that you can kind of develop and rotate in a bunch of guys in for throughout the game. While it is huge to have an elite one, you can kind of get away if the rest of your defense is as good as the Browns is. Yeah, I think here, offensive line, it's a bit more glaring for sure than defensive.
Patrick Paul. 55, Miami.
They need more offensive line, and they need defensive line.
Do we just send Leonard Taylor off here?
I think this is Leonard Taylor.
They've seen a whole lot of them.
Yeah, I love that pick. Leonard Taylor to the Dolphins.
Send him right on in.
Cowboys back on the clock. Oh, by the way, today the Cowboys made their second move of the offseason. I am so thrilled to tell you we are now the proud roster to possess Royce Freeman.
So weak.
Bro, that's our starting running back on paper right now. I have no idea how much we're paying him. It better not be a penny over the veteran minimum.
It won't be.
I was thinking about it too. When we made the trade for Trey Lance, we gave up a 4th rounder for him. But now thinking about it, like, dude, he's our 3rd string quarterback. I really wish we had a 4th round pick. The Cowboys are basically just in cap space hell.
Yeah.
Roster hell. The Cowboys draft is the most important thing for them this offseason by a mile. This 2nd round pick is massive. Damn it, we need so much stuff. I think we just go ahead and pick Michael Hall Jr. It's kind of the best player available at a position that we need.
Picked Maisie Smith, hoping the same thing.
Dude, we have a terrible track record with defensive tackles in the draft. That's what I was just thinking as I was locking in that pick. Oh my God, dude, and Taco Charlton.
Yeah. I mean, Taco had a couple good games right at the end.
Michael Hall Jr. was really damn fun to watch. I have more positivity about the thought of Michael Hall joining the team than any of those other defensive tackles on draft day. Yeah, Michael Hall is going to be the man that steers the ship in the right direction for Dallas Cowboys defensive tackles. I can't wait to have him here. Let's move on to the Buccaneers. 57 overall.
I feel like Braylon Trice comes out right off the board. Yeah, they attack that edge and hit Braylon Trice and replace Shaq Barrett.
I agree with you full-heartedly. We had them getting an offensive lineman in the 1st round, a center. Yes, they need that defensive line for sure. I like Braylon Trice here. Good pick. Packers up at 58. They could use a safety.
Kitchens.
I love Cameron Kitchens, dude.
Or they could take Peyton Wilson.
Yeah, so Peyton Wilson is probably the most talented linebacker in this class, but he has 2 ACL tears and he's 24 years old. So that's a thing. They need a linebacker, but I like Cameron Kitchens better.
Let's do it. Take a safety out the board.
Texans, they might go right here and pick Peyton Wilson.
That's just a good move to fill D'Amico Ryan's belly.
Yeah, he's a defensive coach at the end of the day. And their offense is loaded.
That fits right on in. I like that pick.
Yeah, if they can get that guy to stay healthy, he would be even more fun to watch down in Houston than he would be in Green Bay.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, the Buffalo Bills.
We had them taking wide receiver in the first round.
Yeah,
right?
Brian Thomas Jr. out of LSU is who we had them getting.
Are they really going to roll in to next year with Damar Hamlin as their starting safety?
I mean, I feel you. Like, that doesn't sound attractive.
It's so unattractive. I mean,
I don't even know where they'll go here, truly. Chris Jenkins is kind of like the dude standing out to me just looking at this board. Let's do Chris Jenkins.
yeah, take that man off the board. Chris Jenkins seems like the best dude to go here.
Send him to the Bills. The Lions back on the clock.
I feel like they step up and Braden Fisk comes off of the board.
Yeah, Braden Fisk.
Braden Fisk. I like it.
The Ravens select Jalen Polk.
Yes.
Get that receiver off the board for them.
I mean, what an amazing time for them to get that guy.
I love that pick. The 49ers, they are going to select probably defense. They could go edge and get Brandon Dorless from Oregon. 6'3", 283 coming off the edge.
The big boy. I like it. I mean, he sounds like somebody that would fit in the Niners.
Let's send him.
Let's do it.
Okay, and then the last pick of the second round is the Chiefs. They went receiver in the first. They could probably get their offensive lineman here or maybe a cornerback.
Let's have Kalen Carson come off the board then.
Cool. Let's do it. Sweet. I like this. All right, sweet guys. That was our second round mock draft. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Go check out our first round mock draft if you didn't already see it. Let us know what you think. Let us know what you think we can do better. And yeah, send us your mock draft as well. We'd love to take a look at them. I always love to see new opinions on everything. There's always angles that we're missing over here.
Yeah. We love to hear it all. That's all, y'all. See ya.